What is up, YouTube? Bontagoon here, bringing you another episode of Lords Mobile. This one is geared towards you free-to-play people out there. And those of you that got some new members or something like that that are looking for some advice, maybe, especially if they're free-to-play. My goodness, if they're free-to-play, please have them watch this video. I'm no expert, but there are some pretty common sense things that I'm going to recommend to you to survive in this game as a free-to-play person. Because I have to tell you, this game is not built for free-to-play people. It's not. As a free-to-play, you're probably going to get knocked around quite a bit by pay-to-play people. And I have to tell you, it's gonna be difficult getting on your feet. But it's not impossible. Let me show you something here. This guy watches my videos. I hope he watches this because it'd be super awesome for him to realize that I'm giving him a shout out. But look at this guy. 50 million might. Now, a lot of that is core might. He has a fair-sized army, but it's not huge. He's not sitting around with millions of troops. This is a player that has developed his strategies. He knows what he's doing, and he is strictly free-to-play now. I believe that he said that he spent around $60 during the entire time that he's played the game. That's why he has this sword here, obviously. I'm not going to pretend that he hasn't spent any money at all. But I think he said after his first couple months of playing, he went completely free-to-play. He's been playing for nearly a year now. And, I mean, look, he fights. He fights quite a bit. Captured 359 players, heroes, and, yeah. So, that being said, I don't want you to feel discouraged by this video and assume that, hey, since I'm free-to-play, I might as well not even try. Because that's not the case. I still have free-to-play people in my guild, too. And, you can do well. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat, and this is something that you'll see a lot of the, big YouTube people that know what they're talking about say to you. Don't focus on getting to Tier 4. Tier 4 troops are not impossible, but my goodness, they are difficult. Even with me spending as much as I did, and getting pipeline, it still took me, I don't know, 7-8 months to reach Tier 4. So please, don't even worry about it. There are plenty of other things that you can do. Tier 3 is still plenty strong. It's well worth it to just work on yourself all around and make yourself a strong player in several other regards. And along the way, you'll get stronger and closer to hitting Tier 4 anyway. So, in any case, where to begin? So, starting off in the game, it's difficult for me to recall what exactly you do. I know that you won't have the special buildings to start out with. I'm going to tell you, right off the bat, you're going to need to devote to logging into this game at least twice a day. You're going to want to unlock the shelter as quickly as possible, and you're going to want to keep your guys sheltered. Starting off, it would be best for you to use your troops to reinforce stronger people, because their troops, their research and everything is what matters. But that being said, you can get in on some action reinforcing players that are getting attacked or joining in on their rallies and things like that, and boost up your kill count by doing that. Then you're participating in your guild, and it makes it seem less like you're just kind of slacking off. Which brings me to something. Don't join a guild that has no paid players. Even as a free-to-play person, you still have ample opportunity to join guilds that have some spenders in them. They don't necessarily need to be these huge, like, super rich, like, guilds or anything like that, but, like, my sister guild, right? Yeah. FNR. Fatal Nation Rebels right here. A good amount of these people are free to play. Like, a fair amount of them are strictly free to play. But they are a good... They're a good guild, and they have some spenders, and their people, the free-to-play people, progress at a decent rate because of those spenders and because of the activity of all of the people in the guild. So long as you're active and working at stuff, you're still going to grow at a decent rate because gifts are going to come flowing in, and gifts are good. I mean, right there, that little gift right there, 10-minute speed up. Yes, it's one 10-minute speed up, but say you open up like 100 gifts a day, suddenly you're getting a lot of decent things. Like, you're getting admin quest scrolls and guild quest scrolls and things like that. They add up. Like, I've used a lot for, like, I have 129 of those left. I used a lot of them in Guild Fest. It's helpful. All of it's helpful. So don't settle for a guild that has no pay-to-play people. They don't have to be heavy spenders. Just people that spend, I don't know, 2-3 times a month. A decent guild is going to have people like that. It's going to have multiple people like that. I know that daily there are pay-to-play chests waiting for me when I wake up. And it's not always gold. Not for me. Not for my guild. But in a lot of guilds, you're going to see at least green and blue packages daily. Those are the ones that are worth sticking around in. Now, another thing is your heroes. I can't tell you. I can't stress this hard enough. The second that you had the chance to ditch him, do it. Please, you're doing yourself a favor. At least for now, because there are other heroes that you need to work on. Oathkeeper is not going to be helpful for you at the beginning of the game. Food production, if you're in a guild that I just specified, you're not going to have to worry about that because you're going to be getting plenty of food and packs and things like that. You're not going to need that food production boost. It's just not necessary. In infantry, HP and infantry attack is not bad, but you're not going to be doing a lot of fighting early on. Like, be real with yourself, guys. Fighting is not a good idea for the first little while that you're playing this game. You're going to want to build. And that is not necessarily the most fun aspect of the game, but it's just the truth. As a free-to-play person, you're not going to have as much opportunity to mess up. And that's it. Like, me, I messed up because I focused too much on defense, thinking that defense was going to get me places. And so my wall is stronger than it needed to be. I could have taken that time and researched into other things, but I could afford to mess up on that because... See, look at that. Because I spent money to catch up in the areas that I was lacking in. Those of you that have already sat down and decided, no, I'm not spending any money on this game, you're not going to have that luxury. That's not going to happen. And also, ignore your walls. Those walls are not worth it. So all of the defense and upgrade defenses that you can ignore, do. Like, get yourself to unlock the tier 3 traps and then stop. That's it. That's all that I have to say about that. There's no point in the walls other than that. The initial hit on your wall will cause your traps to deal some damage, but beyond that, your wall's probably going to get wiped within a second. So your traps are not going to deal more damage if you have like 100k more HP. It's just not worth it. So once you've unlocked those traps, just stop. Stop right there. That's it. Now, in terms of the rest of the research, what should you focus on? I have to say, in economy, you definitely want your construction speed up. Absolutely. You want your vault management taken care of, but construction should definitely be a priority. Eventually, you will hit Castle 25. It will take a little while. When you get to Castle 25, I strongly recommend upgrading your vault to 25. That way you can hold gold. And with vault management maxed out, I believe that I can hold... Let's see. I can hold 4.25 million of each resource, and that's including gold. Once it hits level 25, you get gold as well. And once you do that, most of the researches that you're doing as a free-to-play, for probably solid, like, first 5-6 months that you're playing, that 4 million gold is going to be a lot, if not all, of what you'll need to start a new research, which means that even if you're getting hit all the time, you're still going to be able to progress. And that's a really good thing, because this brings me to my next point, shielding. Do your best to save your shields. Make sure your guild communicates when people start 24-hour shields. I know it can be kind of annoying to get spammed with those mails, but it's good to have happen. Like, let's see, nobody else has started a 24 shield recently in my guild. Oh my goodness. I swear, people do. They probably will tonight when we go to sleep. But in any case, when my members start a shield that's 24 hours or longer, I have them send out a guild mail about it. And then other people can go and reinforce them and hide extra troops that they need to hide by doing that. I know my alt account, I try not to keep it shielded. I actually have it reinforcing me right now. It has a garrison and a reinforcement in, as you can see right there. So that's hiding plenty of troops. Because shields are expensive and constantly staying shielded is pricey. It is so pricey and it's not worth it. I don't really have that luxury, as you can see right here. I have over 1.4 million troops. That's really difficult to hide them all. Especially when I'm a little ways away from my people. But for most of you, in fact, pretty much all of you that are free to play, that's 1.4 million troops is very hard to attain and very hard to manage. So it isn't really something that you're going to have to worry about as much. So this brings me back to my point of logging in twice a day. Keep your hero sheltered. Keep all the troops that you can hide in your shelter sheltered. And I highly recommend you shelter the tier 3 troops that you get. And if anything, reinforce people to hide troops with your tier 1 and stuff. That way, if they get sent back for whatever reason or anything and then they get injured, it's easier to heal them, plus tier 1 are instant heals. So it won't really hurt you as much. You definitely want to prepare for, like, all the situations that you possibly can, because you never know what's going to happen. And I can't stress that enough. Like, it's really important. So, that brings me back to the heroes. You want to ditch him for the time being. And the reason for that is because, to start with, you should work on heroes that improve your progress, not combat. The one, where is he? Trickster. Once you unlock Trickster, I would max him out. See, you can get him in stage 2-6 of Elite. And I would definitely recommend going for him as quickly as possible, because he gives you a massive research boost, he gives you a huge max energy boost, and he really helps with energy regeneration. and monster hunting is going to be invaluable to you. Monster hunting is going to be one of your better chances of getting gems, good speed ups, things like that. You'll even get shields every once in a while and random teleporters pretty dang often. And you're going to need those. Like, I know that I just said staying shielded is expensive, but if you get shields for free, then that's free. And that's not expensive, and you never know. Like, in certain situations, it's always nice to have a shield on hand. Let's see. Like me, I got plenty of shields on hand. I actually somehow have accumulated 2 24-hour shields. I think that those are from monster hunts that I just glanced at and didn't really look too much into, which is nice. Sometimes you'll get a 24-hour shield, and that's beautiful. And you can't necessarily count on that being something that you'll get, but it's always nice. In addition to that, you're going to want to progress through your skirmishes pretty quickly. The faster you get through the skirmishes, the better. Honestly, the reasoning for this is because the final skirmish unlocks for you both the treasure trove and the labyrinth. Ever since the update with the labyrinth, it's become even more enticing to get through this stuff as quickly as you can. Because the treasure trove, for one, is invaluable for gem collection. You really want to unlock the treasure trove and start building into it. I know on my alt account I have a max level treasure trove, and I researched into a little bit today. I collected I don't remember exactly how many gems I collected. I think it was about 42,000. And I get on my alt account about 102% in return, which means that of those 42,000, about 21,000 of that was just straight profit. And then the other 21,000 I put directly back into the treasure trove for another 30 days. But 21,000 gems is a lot. I mean, right there, to finish rushing this research, which has 7 days left, it would only cost me 10,000 gems. So that's about 14 days worth of speed ups right there to, like, instant rush things. And gems are used for plenty of things. They are used for almost everything. In fact, one of the few things I know that you can't buy with gems is a migration scroll. And your odds of migrating aren't always that huge. It's pretty easy to get migration scrolls. Unless you're me, in which case, my goodness, it's impossible because I'm always using talent resets. Oh my goodness, I can afford one. I'm going to buy one now before I accidentally buy something else. Now I'm up to 3. Yay. So, that being said, Trickster, excellent. Another one is, of course, Rose Knight. Rose Knight, for her timber production, that 150% is very sweet. But you won't get her until farther down the road. But in addition to that... Wait. I thought that I had them... What? I guess that I haven't completed all of those. But in any case, in addition to that, she's also just a very powerful hero. She's invaluable in the Colosseum. And she is extremely helpful with a 20% attack boost. Guys, attack is more valuable than HP and defense. This is something that you're going to see a lot of Lords Mobile people saying. In VNNCZ3's videos, almost every video he reiterates that it's attack, then HP, then defense. And that's true. That's true, and it's very helpful. And you definitely want to be able to focus on your attack. And I guess that would bring me to gear. Gear. So let's look at the gear. Now, there is free-to-play gear, and there is pay-to-play gear. But there is gear that's free-to-play that people often assume is pay-to-play because it's from event gear. And that's not always the case. All of the champion gear is pay-to-play. So let's just look past that, let's look at the Bon Appetit set. Right here, it's generally the level 40 accessory. The level 40 accessory is typically the one that you can get pretty easily through free-to-play methods. Monster hunting, obviously. And from opening guild gifts. Let's see now. Like, I have not bought into this set. I don't think. Have I? No, I have not bought into this set. But if I went to forge this right now, just from all the monster hunting that I've done, and just from all of the guild gifts that I've opened, I could build a common one. I could build an uncommon one. I could build it to rare. And honestly, you just need one, right? Let's see. Fuse all. Fuse all. Fuse all. Fuse. Fuse all. Boom. I could build it to purple right now. Gold's a little harder to attain. But right now I could take it to purple. Just from the monster hunting that I've done and just from opening up guild gifts. That's it. And right there, that's an infantry attack boost and a range attack boost. Both 6%, which is nice. That's really good. Like, let's look at helmets. Let's look at the free-to-play helmets. Because honestly... let's see... Berserker Tusk Helm, I believe, is... Yep, Berserker Tusk Helm and Death Gazer are the free-to-play helmets, like the top power free-to-play helmets. And as you can see right there, that gives a 5% infantry attack boost, which isn't bad, but a trap attack boost, which is almost useless, and an army defense boost, which, as we say again, is the lowest of the low in terms of army boosts. So I would much rather have infantry and ranged attack over a little bit less infantry attack and then army defense added. And then this one right here, 16% army defense, still not as good. Now another one that you could possibly get your hands on is the Bloodstained Helm, I believe. Yes, that is the free-to-play one for the Gargantua set. And as you can see, it only focuses on cavalry. So I would still much prefer the Indulgent Visage, but the Bloodstained Helm is still an option. Like, if you can get your hands on one, like if you can get your hands on that over that one first, why not? Because again, you're doing both at free-to-play, and both those monsters aren't usually out at the same time. They don't really overlap each other that much, so if you're working on both at the same time, it's not really going to hurt, and it would be good to work on both. So, let's move on. Back to the equipment set. For the Queen Bee, you've got the Honeycomb Chaps, and look at that. 12% cavalry attack and 12% ranged attack. That's good. Like, mwah. And then 5% range defense. That's something. Like, why not? It's there. Why not take advantage of it? Then you've got the Corrupted Boots, which gives, look at that, 10% infantry attack. Okay, ignore all siege engine stuff. Just maybe in a later update they're going to make siege more useful, but right now they've kind of really screwed the pooch. Siege is just not very helpful. So let's just look at the fact that it's 10% infantry attack. That's pretty nice. Oh, but if you look at it, that's the legs. I would still much prefer the Honeycomb Chaps. But then in the Blackwing set, I believe that the Blackwing set has the Dragon's Bite, which gives 10% infantry attack and 10% army max HP. And the HP, of course, is not as good as attack, but it's better than defense. And 10% across the board for the entire army is not bad. Not bad at all. So let's see right here. The Ivory Chokers. Now the Ivory Chokers are good for a specific reason. It only gives 8% cavalry attack, but that travel speed can be pretty dang deadly. I use a little strategy where I will steal tiles. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'll do it. So, I change my equipment and I make my troops as fast as they could possibly get because I like to hope that they're staring away from their screen for a few seconds when I go to do it. And my goal is to get my troops to a tile that they're moving to within 10 seconds. If I can do that, generally speaking, they don't notice. And then, boom, they hit my troops. So the Ivory Chokers, pretty nice. But for that type of strategy, not necessarily for combat. Wow, this video is already up to 26 minutes. Dang. Alright, so just those were examples of the fact that there is generally one piece of each event equipment that is free to play. You can get that with ease. Terrorthorn is the exception. I think even the Terrorblade... Oh, wait, no. I guess it doesn't. Never mind. I guess Terrorblade is easier to get. But I've noticed that the Terror Pollen is particularly difficult to get. I know I'm saying that, but I have all of that. But you have to keep in mind, I've been playing for nearly a year now. When I started playing, Terrorthorns just came out, and I believe they were the second monster to come out. I think the Jade Worms were the first one. But in any case, I've been around since Terrorthorns first came out. So I've been hunting these suckers since Terrorthorns first came out. And I believe, yeah, the Terror Vial does not use it. So, since the Terror Vial is the only piece that I have built, that means that all of the pollen that I've gotten the entire time that I've been playing is right here. I haven't used any of it. So that compared to, let's see, like let's divide this. Also keep in mind that I've spent quite a bit. So I'm just putting this on to comparison. See, 1,332 of those compared to compared to 633. Right there, I've gotten almost twice as much of those. I've gotten even more of these, I think, or about on par. But the point is, Terror Pollens are still kind of difficult to get. So, yeah, you can build a Terror Blade, but that's gonna be kind of tough. And honestly, I wouldn't do the Terror Blade. It gives you a 9% infantry attack. Then it gives you a little bit of infantry defense. The timber production would be nice for when you're in resource gathering mode. Like you're trying to get your hands on more resources, things like that. That would be a better use for that. But generally speaking, I think that... Where on earth are you at? You beautiful little sucker. I would do the Fiery Tomahawk. Because that cavalry attacks 10%, infantry attacks 6.5%, and range attack is 3.5%. That's pretty decent. I quite like it. I highly recommend. So. Alright. Back to heroes. Rose Knight is good. Trickster is the first one that I would recommend to you. Beyond that, oh goodness, Scarlet Bolt. I've not worked on her nearly enough yet. The reason being is because I didn't actually find out. I got advice from multiple people at about the same time, stating, hey, you need to have Scarlet Bolt in your monster hunting groups because she's really great. Boom. It lowers their defense, so it makes them more vulnerable to being attacked. And in addition to that, she gives you even more of a max energy boost. And a construction boost. Whew! Like, dang, 20% construction boost when she's to 20%, when she's to gold, and 3,000 more energy at max. So I would do Trickster, then I would do Scarlet Bolt for sure. Those two, by the time you've gotten the two of them to gold, I would be willing to bet that you've gotten a handle of the game pretty well, that you're going to know what you're doing. So I'm not going to suggest heroes really past that. But I would definitely work on those two. What on earth? What? I'll deal with that in a moment. But in any case, yeah. Starting off, work on your construction speed, get your research speed up. Those factors are what hold you back. Pay-to-play people will have that advantage over you. That's just said and done. Done and done right there. Witch Doll is a pay-to-play hero. She's giving me a construction boost, research boost, and training boost right there. That's something that people that are free-to-play are not going to get from her. However, there are free-to-play that give you pretty much all of those. A really difficult one to get is Watcher. Where's he at? Oh yeah, mine's green. Watcher, right there. He's giving me a training speed boost. But you get him through Hell events, and he's tough to get, so I'm not going to recommend you go for him super early on. But, guys, your construction speeds and your research speeds are very important. So when you're working on gear, before you work on your combat gear, I'm going to highly recommend that you work on these Sentinel Circlets. My goodness, please. And Lunar Flutes. And that's what I recommend to you for those. Also, you need to work on your gold production rates. So I would build Crystal Tears, a level 27 accessory. You can get that so early on. You'll hit level 27 pretty quickly. So you can work on those to tide you over and work on more research and stuff to be able to progress to level 40 quickly so that you can use Sentinel Circlets and Lunar Flutes. I would start working on those before you're even level 40. That way that they're there and you can use them the second that you hit level 40. This, very good. Only level 17. Work on it. Get it up there. Boom. Yes. It's done and done. Let's see what this uses. Oh, I can't look at what it uses. However, I also have to tell you, I do believe that the Cavalry Mail and the Vice Grips use some of the same materials, or it's the Vice Grips and the Lunar Flutes. But in the order that you want things built, you want Lunar Flute, and then you want Cavalry Mail, and then you want Vice Grips. As you can see, Vice Grips doesn't give you an amazing research boost. 3.5%. Cavalry Mail is only 7%, but the Lunar Flute is 26%. So you want to focus on building those in those order because some of them share materials, but certain pieces of gear are going to benefit you more than other pieces of gear. As you can see, my Vice Grips are only purple right now. They're still going to be purple for a little bit because this dang coal is tough. And people tile hit like crazy in my kingdom, so it's hard to gather properly. But in any case, I think that that is a good introduction video. If there's more that you guys want me to go over, or there's questions that your newer members have, or if you're a newer player and you have a question for me, mail me personally. My name in-game is Bontacoon. Mail me in-game. Don't have your questions commented on this video because it'll take me a while to see it and you're not going to get your answer quickly that way, if at all, because I might not have time to respond. So mail me in-game. I will respond I'll do as quickly as I can, and if enough people ask the same questions, I will make another video trying to explain as best as I can what I know on the matter. So, with that being said, the super long introduction video on how to survive as a free-to-play player is done. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't have this game and this is something that you're looking into to possibly download, the link's down below. You should get it. You should download this game because even as free-to-play, it's fun. I think I played it for a solid month as a free-to-play, and I had a blast. Monster hunting was great. Everything was great. And, yeah, also, if you'd like to support me in the work that I do, the videos that I make, and you want to be able to help me stop slaving away at a minimum wage job so that I can focus on making these videos a little bit more, along with other videos that I'm making, like reviews and things like that, then please, the link to my Patreon page is also down below. And that's all there for you to take into consideration. But in any case, I love you guys. I appreciate you all. You're all great. Even you, Gangstar, the one in my guild now. You're weird. I'm not gonna lie. But I love you anyway. And until the next video, guys. Bye.